Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews. Have you ever wondered what games you should sell or you should use? Find out here at Purge Reviews. Find out on our top 10 list what games you cannot miss. Don't forget to subscribe to Purge Reviews.
Haba. Clever Bear Learns to Count. So we have a lot of children's books that have the Bear series. Not just the Bernstein Bears, but there's a little series like I Love You, Daddy, starring these bears. And while this isn't the same license, my kids connected the dots to that. So felt like they knew it. My kids have liked bears. Bears are a lot of children's stories. So Clever Bear in this one's going to learn how to count. Now this game comes with 4 games inside, and they're actually pretty neat. So it's teaching you how to count with fingers. There'll be fingers actually on the die in the card. So like 3, and 1, 2, 3. The numbers. Then you have the dice pips, get our little gamers going. And then you have like the counting blocks that you would have on an abacus or something. So there's 4 different ways to learn how to count. You can mix and match, work on one. This is one of those games that's going to slide in a little educational into your games. The games aren't the strongest. A lot of them rely heavily on memory. But if you're going to play memory, throwing a little learning wouldn't be bad. If you homeschool, this is a great way to get that counting going and maybe learning some counting through a game. This could be invaluable in like a nursery or a young classroom. If you have a young kid, get this game if they don't know how to count yet or they're learning to count. You want something fun involved in it. There's 4 games in the box, but you're kind of infinite on what you can and do. My kids love memory. They love doing that. There's different sets. You can mix them together, trick them a little bit, get them knowing their numbers. So Clever Bear is actually a win for me. I think your kids, once they start learning how to count, will outgrow this game. You can pass this along to a classroom or something, but I like this one quite a bit. This one is from Haba. Clever Bear Learns to Count. Keeper. Try this one out, guys. You're trying to teach your kids how to read. Here's Clever Bear Learns to Count from Haba Games. You get a nice little box. Mine has a dent, but yours probably won't have one. This is a nice little square box. It's not too big. It's not uniform either. As with most Haba instruction manuals, you'll see quite a few different instructions here. The rules for the actual game are pretty small. Looks like we're going to have a chain of blocks on this. This is for scoring. That's what this is going to be for. Very unique and very kid-friendly. You are going to have some big wooden blocks. And this one has different signals on it with your hands. We got numbers with a bear. That represents 6. Then we have a regular 6-sided die with a bear on it. So we're going to get a number of tiles. These are very thick, but fairly thick. These are really good quality. These will last you. As with most Haba, you're going to have very good components. This is not what you're used to getting if you buy something at Target or the local mass market stuff. So this is good stuff here. And you're going to get a number of these to play with. Very good quality. Everything in this box is just wonderful. This thing is so thick and neat and unusual. It's a Tug-of-War. And I'll show you in the flow of the game. But very kid-friendly. Kids are going to really like this one. The components are excellent, especially for a children's game. The rules for this are very simple. There's 4 games in the box. You're not going to have a problem with any of them. This is basic memory, basic rolling the die and counting things out. It's a cooperative game inside the box. Easy peasy. If the kids can't count, they're probably not going to be able to read, so they're going to have to have a parent teach them how to play. And you might play all 4 games and figure out which one your kids adapt to more, or if they get kind of bored with one, move on to another one, or whatever suits your fancy. most Hobby games, you're going to get a collection of games inside they can use. So game number 1, which is probably for the youngest ones, is just memory. You turn, and you're going to have 8 rows of 5. I'm just showing you a little bit. You would have different ways to get to the number. So if you're trying to teach your kids number, here's a 10. And this you have to count 1, 2, 3, 4. You can always use this if you want to visualize it. The 4 of them, count them up. Doesn't match, you turn it over. If you get a match, so here's 3 pips on a die for us gamers. I want to teach our children, and a 3 number, then you score that. So it's just simple memory. The second game, you don't use any of the tiles. You just use this in the middle, and very easily you're going to roll the die. If it comes up 1, then you would move 1 block to your side. And you can use any of the die if you want your children to, count the pips, if you want them to count with fingers, or if you want them to see the numbers. So it's all those. And you can just kind of go through, and the hope is to get everything on your side. So this would give me 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then if your opponent had some, you can start taking them over. So it's just a tug-of-war to keep the kids counting over and over and over and over again, and kind of drill those numbers into it. So for this next one, what you're going to do is there's 3 different ways, or 3 different types of tiles. You have the dice tiles, which will be 1 through 10. You can do the hands with the fingers, 1 through 10. Or you can do the beads, 1 through 10. Or you can do the numbers 1 through 10. And you'll collect those sets, those 10 things, and you'll look for the 1, just a memory thing. Nope, that's 4. And if you're wrong, one of the beads goes towards this. And this is a cooperative game where all the kids are playing against, and you would try to memorize where this is at. If you correctly get the 1, let's say I was looking for the 2 because I just found it. So here's the 2. From the tiles, then I would go now 3. None of these beads would move. And you want to get this done where you're just trying to play memory against the bear to see if you can get all 10 before this counts over. And every time that you put a block over, you're supposed to go ahead and count. So 1, 2. And if you lost another one, this beat whenever you go 1, 2, 3. Just to keep reiterating the numbers and the counting and how they work. And so that's just a memory one, and it's just a little game to keep reinforcing those numbers. That's the third game. So the fourth one is Clever Bear and the Numbers, which is possibly the most like the name. So you could have the 10, there's 4 sets, like I said before, in the deck. So you pick one of the sets and you have them face up. I don't have all of them here, but I have a few of them. And then you can choose which of the dice or mix them up or however you want the kids playing. So what you do on your turn is you roll the die and you get a number, in this case 4, and you would move one set of these either way you want. So let's say I move this 4 here. The side that's by the bear, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then you take the 9 tile in front of you. And you continue to do this. And let's say somebody rolled the teddy bear. Then what you would do is you would choose a number between 1 and 5, and you say it out loud, 4. And if anybody had the 4 in front of them, they have to give it to you. And if you collect 3 tiles, you win. That's the entire game. This game is really intended to be probably the most advanced one of collecting it. You're competitively playing it, and you're just trying to collect the 3 tiles. Once again, you're always counting and reinforcing those numbers. I highly recommend this game for a classroom, a nursery, a church nursery, things where kids are playing games, kindergarten, anything where you're learning to count, preschools, parents who homeschool like this, or you just want to get your kids prepared for kindergarten. It's a great game to start out with. The games are not fantastic. We're talking about children's games here, and they're very simplistic, but it hides the learning just a tad, just enough. Now, a lot of times my kids, the attention spans aren't the longest, so they'll get bored with games as they go on. And that's fine, because you're putting some numbers in front of them and just identifying numbers in a fun little package. The theme is going to attract them. Go ahead and give this one a shot. Hunt this down. Hunt this one down, guys, if you're in that particular circumstance. Now, if your kids know how to count, throw this out the window. You're not going to need this. Or the games aren't very fun it's about reinforcing the learning and giving something fun to do in the meantime. Keep her for until the kids can count.